नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. We are by the banks of the Pampa water body in the vicinity of Rishyamukha mountain. And we are right now with Rama, Lakshmana and Hanuman. Last week we had the great blessing of entering into that portion of the Rama way where Hanuman enters. Ramayana means the way of Rama. And we saw that that had happened because Sugriva and his 4 monkeys, ministers, which included Hanuman, had sighted from high up in one of the many peaks in the Rishyamukha mountain range, had spotted these 2 terrifying beings, what they thought at that point in time, what Sugriva thought, that they were spies sent by Vali. And then Hanuman had spoken. After Sugriva had spoken about his fears, Hanuman had spoken for the first time in Valmiki Ramayana, and he had opened with the word Sambhramas Tyajatam Esha Sarvaihi Bhayam Valikrite Mahan. But Sambhramas Tyajatam Esha Sarvaihi, we had dwelt a bit on the meaning of that part itself as apart from the other part of the verses. And saw that it's a powerful Upadesha of Hanuman, a timeless Upadesha meant for all. Sambhramat Tyajatam Esha Sarvai. For whatever reason it is that your mind becomes agitated, all such reasons, all the reasons, any which reason by which confusion, bewilderment, agitation comes to your mind, abandon it. Abandon Sambhramat Tyajatam. Then he had gone on to say, I see no reason why you should fear Vali. Vali cannot come here, etc. We saw the dialogue. How he had told Sugriva that one should not fear. On the contrary, you must exercise your wisdom to ascertain what are these people doing here, etc. And he had gone to the extent of scolding Sugriva by saying, you are showing your monkey mind, your nature as a monkey, you are unnecessarily getting agitated. And then Sugriva had gathered courage and then he had said, yes, I understand and we should ascertain, but we cannot be complacent. Vali is a great strategic manager, he is a leader, he keeps many options and he could well be one of them. These 2 could be his men and they look pretty terrifying. Who will not be scared of these 2 people? You tell me. Look at them. And then maybe if we are too trusting, they'll just seize one opportunity when we are not alert and they will be very alert and they'll finish us. So we can't afford that. We can't afford that. And so we need to ascertain who they are, why have they come here. And we should do that. We should do that by some means. We have to have somebody who goes to them. We need to have someone who goes to them with the establishing trust in them to make them talk. So it should be somebody who is of no significance. An insignificant kind of person should go to them so that their guards don't go up and they talk to you. So Hanuman, I think you are the right person. You assume some form, you go to them and you strike up conversation with them. And in such a way that you praise them, you make them pleased and find out why they have come here. And when you talk to them, make sure that your face is towards me, so I can see you all the time, etc. Idea is also, I think, I was wondering a bit, why is he saying that you keep your face towards me rather than the other way where I can watch Rama and Lakshmana? The idea is also that perhaps I think that when you are looking at someone, if you are looking at Rama, Lakshmana and they give away no expression, there is no point seeing that. Whereas if you are seeing Hanuman, he is your man, so his face itself, he can make many expressions which can communicate to you. If he is in fear, he can show fear. If he is not interested in, or whatever expression that comes to his mind based on the conversation that is struck up with Rama and Lakshmana, that can show in the face. He can give some indications, etc., which might be, so perhaps that is why he is saying that. He is a leader. He knows what he is asking. That is what he is asking. And then we saw Hanuman go in one flying leap to where Rama and Lakshmana was, and he had gone in the form. We saw that he had abandoned his monkey form and he had taken the form of a Bhikshu Rupam. We had dwelt a bit on what that Bhikshu Rupam could be, because traditionally the translators say that he went in the Rupam of a sannyasi, and we had, and that is, if you look at Amara Kosham, that is for a Bhikshu. Sannyasi is one of the meanings as well. So it also dwelt a bit on Ravana, also used the sannyasi Vesham, but then we also came to the general idea based on what one had read from Paramacharya himself, that he probably went in the form of a brahmachari, Bhikshu brahmachari. Because straight away Valmiki says that as soon as he went to Rama and Lakshmana, he pranipatya, he prostrated again and again first, and then spoke very pleasingly, ingratiatingly, in a nice voice, full of affection, he spoke. And on the note that it would not have, it is a form that Hanuman would have probably found quite the most natural thing to be, because he himself is a Naistika brahmachari. To take a brahmachari form, and he is a student. Hanuman is a constant student. He learns all the time. And he is a master of all knowledge. So to take a brahmachari vesham is something which comes naturally to him. So that's where we had left last time, with Hanuman having just come to the presence of Rama and Lakshmana and had prostrated to them. And was going to make his first conversation with Rama in Ramayana. And this is what he says. This is how it starts. Sampujya vidhivad virau Hanuman marutatmajah uvacha kamato vakyam mrudu satya parakramau. Sampujya vidhivad virau. He first honored them in the traditional manner, the way you would honor a revered people who come up. In that manner, he vidhivat, he honored them, he offered worship in some sense to them. And then he spoke words, Valmiki says, which came direct from his heart. So, That's the second thing that he did. He spoke sincerely. When he spoke to Rama, very quickly, I mean, to the man of God, whatever it is that you are, it doesn't matter, but in that sincerity has to come. You could be a dacoit who keeps the gun on one side and says, I'm a dacoit. That's fine. There's a sincerity in that. And there's a sinner. I'm not joking. I mean, when you read the life of saints, you see that happening. Sincerity matters. So he spoke words from his heart. It is so much easier to speak that. He spoke words from his heart. And in a gentle way, he spoke gentle words, mrudhu, not harshly, to those two heroes whose valor knew no boundaries, no impediments. To them, Hanuman spoke and he said straight, Rajarshideva pratimau tapasau samshidavratau desham kathamimam praptau bhavantau varavarninau. The two of you, you are like two Rajarishis or like two gods. You are tapasvis and you are two people who are observing and have observed severe vows. With your blazing complexion, the two of you, what brings you to this region? What has brought you here? Trasayantau mrigaganan anyacha vanacharina pampatir ruhan vrikshan vikshamanau samantatah imam nadim shubhajalam shobhayantau tapasvinau dhairyavantau suvarnabhau kauyuvam chiravasasau. Walking in the banks of Pampa, the two of you, looking around here and there, are scaring all the herds of deer and other wild creatures in this forest. With your golden complexion, the two of you are adding to the beauty of this river. Who are you two? Who are you two? You're clad in like ascetics, tapasvis in tree bark, chiravasasau. You're wearing tree bark dress. Who are the two of you? Nishvasantau varabhujau pedayanta vimaha prajaha. Nishvasantau varabhujau. You are obviously men of great courage. But I see that you are also heaving deep sighs. You are sighing deeply. With your mighty arms and your lion-like looks and strength, you are putting fear into the hearts of the creatures here in the forest. With the bow in your hand, with the bows in your hand that looks like Indra's bow, it is evident that you are slayers of enemies. By your dazzle, by your luster, you are dazzling the eyes of anybody who sees you. And you are lighting up this mountain. With the gait of the lordly bull, and with arms like elephant trunks, you, O best of men, exude extraordinary power. How did you, who deserve to rule a kingdom, who are comparable to the gods, how did you come to this place? You are warriors, but you have your hair in a matted pile, and you have eyes like lotus petals. You two heroic men look exactly like each other. You seem to be like the celestial sun and the moon has come down to the earth by chance. They say it is not given to see this sight. By chance, the sun and the moon has come on a stroll to the earth, and I have seen. Who are you two? Your lion-like shoulders and tremendous energy reminds one of lusty stud bulls. Why are these long and beautiful arms of yours not adorned with jewels which will be so fitting for them? The two of you seem perfectly capable of protecting the whole and the entire earth just by yourself. With all its oceans, with all the forest and the Vindhya mountain and the Meru mountain, all of it, the two of you seem perfectly capable of protecting by the power of your arms. These bows of yours, so nicely painted and inlaid with gold, looking at Indra's bow, and your fine quivers which are full of arrows, which are sharp arrows, death-dealing arrows, hissing like serpents, which you are wearing on your shoulders. And you have got swords which are decked with polished gold, which are dazzling like snakes which have shed its skin. Evam mam paribhashantam kasmad na vibhashatah. Then he asks, Evam mam paribhashantam kasmad na vibhashatah. I am going on talking, but you are not saying anything. How is it that you do not answer? I am repeatedly asking you. And before Rama, but quickly he adds, Sugrivo nama dharmatma kaschid vanarayuthapah Viro vinikrito bhrata jagat brahmati dukkita praptoham preshitastena sugrivena mahatmana ragya vanara mukhyanam Hanuman nama vanara. There is a dharmatma called Sugriva. A great chief of monkeys. He is someone who has been dealt unfairly by his brother. And he is wandering over the earth, grief-stricken himself. It is he who has sent me here, that Mahatma, Sugriva. It is on his bidding that I have come here. And he is the chief king of all the prominent apes of the world.